Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
This is awesome!
Hello and welcome once again to Cheap Shot Entertainment. This is Wrestling Friends Review, and I am your host Luke, and you are the Cheap Shot Nation, and we're going to take you through everything that happened in NXT episode number 44. That's NXT UK episode number 44. Took place at the Braehead Arena in Glasgow, Scotland, and was released on the WWE Network on the 22nd of May 2019. Again, very wrestling heavy show. I like this. I'm getting into my NXT UK really a lot more than I was, and hopefully that will come across in the videos. Again, the videos that I'm doing for NXT UK don't get a lot of views, so I am going to be finishing those. That decision has been made, but if you are watching this video, please do let us know what you'd like to be in its place. Maybe some old school wrestling games. Maybe I had an idea for a feature on a wrestler every week, maybe. Called Who's NXT, as in Who's Next, yeah, may take a page out of Wrestling with Regrets book. So go over there and watch Brian Zane. Absolutely awesome he is as well. Wrestling with Regret on YouTube. And maybe watch NXT UK and review them back to back and see who won for the week, much like Brian Zane does with Raw and SmackDown. But we're keeping it indie, baby, keeping it indie. Anyway, this is everything, like I say, it's everything that's happened in NXT UK this week. We get Walter Dawn 2, we get a surprise at the end of that as well, and lots of women's wrestling in this one as well. There's lots of build-up for women's wrestling. I don't think there's actually any women's matches, and there's no tag team matches. It's all single matches, but that's pretty cool. We get Mark Andrews versus Noam Dar 2. We get Walter versus Pete Dunne 2. So this is a really, really good show, and going into next week it's the fatal four-way for the number one contendership for the NXT or the WWE UK Championship. So that is the end of my intro. A bit too long for my liking, but we'll get straight into the action. So we kick off NXT UK number 44 with the final qualifying match for the fatal four-way to determine the number one contender for Walter's WWE UK Championship. Of course, Walter is going against Pete Dunne later on in the show, so we don't know whether it's going to be Walter or Pete Dunne at this point in time, but I can say that was a fantastic match as well. It is Travis Banks versus Joseph Connors, two men who know each other very well. I'm torn between these two. I love Travis Banks, love the Kiwi buzzsaw, but then Joseph Connors is my hometown boy, being from Nottingham. I'm not from Nottingham, but he's as close as we're going to get in NXT UK, at least at this point. There's plenty of young hungry wrestlers in the East Midlands to potentially head to NXT UK, and some of those will feature this weekend on the 25th of May 2019. That is my birthday, and I'm going to Aspire Wrestling for that in Sinfin. So if you're watching the video and it's in time, get yourself booked onto that show and go and watch some local independent wrestling, and a great company who does a lot of work with the local community and lots of charities as well. So during this match, Joseph Connors gets quite a lot of offense in here. Travis Banks has to come back several times. The match really turns when Travis Banks dives out of the ring, knocking Joseph Connors onto the barricade. Does look like Travis Banks has re-injured his knee. Very well documented knee injury for Travis Banks, the Kiwi buzzsaw, who's of course his offense is mainly from his legs. So how is that going to play out? Answer, like I say, Joseph Connors targeted that knee, and Travis Banks did finally come back, hitting the sliced bread kick to the side of Joseph Connors' head and hitting the Kiwi Crusher straight afterwards. And this is after Joseph Connors lost his focus a little bit and started talking smack to Travis Banks. So as he lifted him up, possibly for the don't look down, Travis Banks kicked out, hit the sliced bread and the Kiwi Crusher for the win. Your final entrant into the fatal four-way match for next week, the number one contendership, is Travis Banks. So we now have that match sorted for next week. It is Travis Banks, it is Dave Mastiff, the Irish Ace Jordan Devlin, and the Big Scot in Joe Coffey. All have had various attempts, well, at least two of them have had attempts at the championship to this point. So yeah, again, really good match. Go and watch NXT UK. Really good. After the match, Radzi comes into the ring and Travis Banks is interviewed, cuts a promo on the opponents for that match, and it's actually got written down here. It's 2 weeks time, so it may not be next week. It may be on NXT UK number 46. Well, there you go. Nina Samuels is talking next about Tony Storm, sat in front of a mirror, saying that all the cards, thank yous, things like that, that people have sent her. Congratulations, played Tony Storm like a puppet, just had to find the right strings to pull. Sadly, obviously, these cards are in front of a mirror and clearly there's nothing written on them. But really good promo by Nina Samuels. Like I say, darkened room, mirror, lit up mirror with the light bulbs on the side, like a proper Hollywood style old school mirror. Really good promo from Nina Samuels. So it looks like we're getting Nina Samuels versus Tony Storm for the NXT UK Women's Championship, and that is happening next week on episode number 45 of NXT UK. We next get Mark Andrews versus Noam Dar 2. Of course, Noam Dar is the hometown boy here, being from Scotland, the Scottish supernova, if you were. Lots of respect being shown here in this match. Of course, both guys were wheeled out a couple of months ago on stretchers, having sort of missed a reverse hurricane runner from Mark Andrews. Noam Dar's knee gave out. Of course, that led to Mark Andrews falling funny and hurting his knee as well. Both got stretched out, so this is the blow-off from that. Again, really good match. Really starting to like Mark Andrews here, and it seems like Noam Dar does get the best out of Mark Andrews. But it would be the Scottish supernova who would get the victory here, playing possum in the corners, attempting to convince Mark Andrews that his knee's gone again. He does, as Mark Andrews sort of shakes his hand and goes to walk away, so the referee can deal with it. Noam Dar, clock, back of the head, strike to the back of the head, and a kick to the head from Noam Dar, leading to the pin for the win. And of course, the Scottish crowd go absolutely wild for this turn of events, because like I say, he is the Scottish supernova. He is Noam Dar. Da 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 da. So Radzi attempts to interview the grizzled young veterans as they arrive in the arena. Of course, they respond to Mustache Mountain, who want to want to become the NXT UK Tag Team Champions, because they were beaten in the final, of course. So they want to enact their rematch clause pretty much, and go for those championships. Of course, the Grizzled Young Veterans deflect this attempt and say that they've got to earn their stripes, they've got to earn their chance again, and it's not Moustache Mountain who makes the matches. It is Sid Scala and, of course, Johnny Saint, the legend that he is. So they brush off Radzi and carry on their walk into the arena. The arena. That's why I said arena, because it is Rhea Ripley walking down to the ring next to cut a promo, and she trolls the fans saying, "You want me to wrestle?" And everyone goes, "Yay!" And then she goes, "It's not going to happen," of course, and then cuts a promo on Piper Niven, of course, hometown girl, Scottish as she is. Absolutely brilliant. Piper Niven is. Met her, she's absolutely lovely, and yeah. I hope that, although I like Rhea Ripley as well, and this competition here is really difficult for me, but she talks about the future match between Piper Niven and herself. We next get Cassius Ohno barging into Sid Scala's office. No sign of Johnny Saint here, wanting an answer as to who they've managed to get to face Cassius Ohno, because Cassius Ohno wants to teach the Brits how to do British wrestling, and he's going up against none other than Gentleman Jack Gallagher of 205 Live, and yeah, should be interesting. I haven't seen Gentleman Jack Gallagher for a long time. Like I said, I don't watch 205 Live. May start watching it, as I'm not going to be doing these particular videos anymore. I'm just going to be going through the results and reviewing the shows back to back. So maybe I'll do a back to back to back. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Let me know in the comments down below what you think, if that should be a thing. So we get the announcement of the NXT UK Women's Championship being defended next week. It is Storm versus Nina Samuels. And we're now on to the main event. The Ring General versus Pete Dunne for the WWE UK Championship. Of course, Walter is the champion as of NXT TakeOver New York, and yeah, Dunne's historic 685-day reign as UK champion, the second ever UK champion in WWE, and already setting records. He looks positively naked without this championship coming out, but Walter does carry it very, very well, and as you can expect, absolutely epic match, back and forth. Pete Dunne has done his homework, he's studied that tape, he's made notes of what he did wrong to lose that championship to Walter in the first place, and he is ruthless. He goes for the knee, he goes for the leg, he makes sure he chops down the big man and takes out his fingers, takes out his hand. At one point Walter is chopping Pete Dunne for fun. Pete Dunne lays in wait on the ring post, and Walter chops the post. Of course, that makes him like screaming agony. Think about Arnold Schwarzenegger, that kind of thing. And Pete Dunne is in control from this point on, and it really is a testament to that man's ability to adapt to his environment and his opponents that this match went on so long. I mean, you got Walter at 6'4", Pete Dunne at probably 5'8". It's a big difference, but Pete Dunne knows how to mix it up. Pete Dunne was the champion for 685 days, and that is no mean feat. Unfortunately, he comes up short here after almost capturing that championship. It is Fabian Eichner who comes down to the ring, distracts Pete Dunne, and as Pete Dunne is distracted and the referee is distracted, Marcel Bartel comes from the other side of the ring, clocks Pete Dunne around the back of the head with the championship, and obviously this is going to lead to Pete Dunne versus Walter 3, because the match pretty much ended a bit screwy, but it worked. It did actually work. So Pete Dunne's knocked out, Walter covers Pete Dunne and keeps the championship around his waist, at least for a little bit longer, and we get the reimagining of the European Union. The Fabian Eichner and Marcel Bartel are known as the European Union. Ringkampf was the stable that Walter was in before with Marcel Bartel, so maybe they're going to reuse that name. It literally translates in German and English to ring struggle or wrestling match, so that is interesting there. Done a bit of homework on the name there, but yes, your winner in this one is Walter, and he keeps the championship around his waist. No doubt Pete Dunne is going to be absolutely torn apart by this, but it is 3-on-3 now, so we get a chance to see British Strong Style versus Ringkampf in the future, no doubt. But we're going to go on to sign off now for this video. That was everything that happened in NXT episode number 44. And so that is everything that happened in episode number 44 of NXT UK. Really good show this week. Furthering storylines, we've got the final participant in the Fatal 4-Way match. We've got a Women's NXT UK Championship match to look forward to next week. And in 2 weeks' time, we've got the number one contendership for the NXT UK Championship. And of course, going forward, we're probably going to get a match for the Tag Team Championships as well. And of course, with the new 24/7 title, you don't know when that's going to show up in future, and we've got Cassius Ohno versus Gentleman Jack Gallagher, so that'll be really cool as well. In the meantime, if you like the video, give us a thumbs up, follow us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook, hit a Walter size big boot on that subscribe button and a bitter end on that notification bell to know when we upload new videos to the channel. In the meantime, like I say, subscribe and do all the YouTube type stuff. You have been the Cheap Shot Nation and still continue to be the Cheap Shot Nation. We are 200 subscribers strong, and that is thanks to you. And I have been your host, Luke, and that is me. And we'll see you again next week. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.